Digital Publishing, Everybody Wins. On behalf of Data Conversion Laboratory and Relay Strategies, we're happy that you're able to join us. We realize your time is very important, and we think we have a presentation that will be well worth your investment. Just to kind of go over what we'll be covering over the course of the next hour, I'd like to go over a few housekeeping rules and then discuss the results of a couple of questions that we asked you during the registration process. Then I'd like to give our webinar sponsors, Data Conversion Laboratory and Relay Strategies, a brief moment to go introduce themselves, and then we'll get into Anthony Allen's presentation. At the end of the presentation, we will be asking questions, or answering your questions. So just a few housekeeping notes. Today's webinar is being recorded, and it will be available to you along with the questions and answers. We will provide a web page that will have all these resources along with the slide deck. As I mentioned, Anthony will be taking questions at the end of the presentation. If you have a question, you'll notice that you have a box called Questions. Please use that to go enter your question, and I will pose them to Anthony at the end of his presentation. We'll also be having a poll about halfway through. Your participation will help Mr. Allen tailor the presentation to your needs by answering exactly what you're answering. So if you'll recall, we asked a couple of questions during the registration process. The first one was, has your organization looked at XML? And it was interesting to me that roughly 2/3 of the registration answers were yes. Either we are implementing it, we plan to implement it, and the other 25% was yes, we're operational. 18% of you said no. And 13 said, well, we've looked at it, but we don't have a plan to implement it. The other question was, what format is the majority of your content in? And I guess it's no surprise that because you're interested in the subject, that most of you have desktop publishing formats like Word, Quark, and Frame, and I suspect a lot of your the material that is being provided to you comes in those formats. Markup language, SGML, HTML, XML accounted for roughly 30%, and the remaining 15, 16% was either other or typesetting formats or text formatters. Just as something that would help me, if you answered other, I would appreciate if you could just send me a note and say, hey, our other was blah, 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 blah. And so that would help me understand what your formats are in. So without any further ado, I'm going to introduce Linda Marrone. Linda is the new VP of Sales and Marketing at Data Conversion Laboratory. Good afternoon, Linda.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Established in 1981, DCL is a woman-owned company located in Fresh Meadows, New York. We are the pioneer in defining and developing the emerging data conversion industry and a founding member of the SGML user group. As you will hear Anthony speak of shortly, it is critical that your data is able to support all processes to improve overall efficiency, increase profits, and so on for your organization. The world has become an extremely data-centric environment, with each destination requiring a specific data format in order to interact accordingly. This is where our expertise actually comes into play, making certain your data is converted to meet the needs and the demands that are placed on it. As you will see, DCL serves a variety of industries, including technical documentation, publishing, technical societies, manufacturing, aerospace, government, defense, health sciences, and libraries and universities. We have extensive experience with all the key DTTs, including DITA, EPUB, MOBI, S1000D, ATA, NLM, DocBook, TEI, and so on. By the way, I do encourage you also to sign up for our monthly newsletter if you are not already on the list. It is devoted to SGML and XML and electronic publishing topics, and I think you will find the articles to be quite interesting all related, obviously, to data and content management. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoy the webinar.
Thank you, Linda. That was good. Our other sponsor is Really Strategies, and on behalf of Really Strategies, I would like to welcome Marrone Callahan. She is the VP of Marketing and at Really Strategies. Marrone?
Thank you, Don. Hello, everyone. My name is Marrone Callahan, and I am the Marketing Manager at Really Strategies. I'd like to offer a quick background on Really Strategies. We were founded in 2000 as a publishing consultant company and are specialists in XML-based editorial and production and content management solutions. We offer 3 content management products: RSuite, RSuite Cloud, and DocZone. Today's webinar will feature some information on RSuite, an enterprise content management system that was designed specifically for publishers. You can flip to the next slide, Don. Thank you. Our business serves more than 100 publishers and technical publishers spanning several verticals within publishing, and that includes scientific, technical, and medical, educational publishers, media companies, and technical publishing organizations. The next slide, thank you. As I mentioned, RSuite is a content management system for publishers, but we envision the system as a strategic tool in a publishing environment. We believe that publishers can accelerate revenue and profit growth through better content management. How can they do that? Well, with a strategic content repository, you can rapidly embrace new opportunities for your content. You can repackage existing content into new products. And you can decrease time to market with products by eliminating slow conversions because the CMS can actually automate processes. Well, Don, I'd like to return it back to you and Anthony.
Thank you, Marrone. That was informative. And I guess without any further ado, I would like to introduce our next, our main speaker, Anthony Allen. Anthony is the Director of Production at the American Society for Training and Development, where he manages a wide range of print and digital content products. Anthony is also an adjunct professor of technology at the George Mason College of Visual and Performing Arts and has previously worked in media production at the Discovery Studios and CIA. So without any further delay, I'm going to turn things over to Anthony. So Anthony,
great, thanks, Don.
It's yours.
Can you see my first slide?
If you will click the
oh, they're showing my screen. Okay. Mm-hmm. Great. One sec. There we go. Now, can you see the first slide?
Yes, sir.
Great. So, just to start off, Marrone's kind of summary of the power of RSuite and XML is really spot on. It's on the business side, quicker time to market, opportunities. It's all of those things. And my thing is really the business of digital publishing, how to increase revenue and decrease expenses with XML and with digital workflows. That's what drives me, and that's what I'm going to be talking about today. The company that I work for is a small publisher, and with the commitment that we made to getting our content into XML and the commitment to XML workflows, we've been able to do those things that Marrone described. We've been able to increase revenue and decrease expenses, but do it like a company that's twice or 3 times our size. And so that's what I'm going to be talking about today, kind of everything that went into that process and the transformation of our company and the way that we produce and reuse and monetize content. So I usually start out these things by telling the people I'm talking to really what my point is up front, so that if you choose to take a nap or surf the web, you can do so without incredible feelings of guilt. So here's my point. Hopefully you guys can see the second slide up on the screen. Don, you can tell me if I don't. But the more departments that benefit from your XML and intelligent content solution, the more successful your solution will be. So when you convert your content from like a book or a magazine or a newsletter into XML, you're adding this level of enrichment, of intelligence, so that there's an awareness of what an author is and what the deck is and what the topics are. And you want to be able to leverage that knowledge. And the more departments within your organization, because your company is going to be paying the bills for the conversion or to buy a system like RSuite, the more departments that can benefit, sales, marketing, publishing, if you have an international department, the more that benefit, the more successful, the more entrenched in the solution your organization will be. So what I do is I'm going to explain today how all departments at ASTD, at the American Society for Training and Development, benefited from this solution. So ASTD, if you haven't heard of ASTD, don't worry, I didn't either. Don said I came from the Discovery Channel. Before this, I was in video. I had never heard of ASTD or actually gotten any proper training before I got to ASTD. ASTD is the American Society for Training and Development, and we train trainers. So whenever there's a training session at an organization, sales training, project management training, we set the standards by which that training is given. I've been with ASTD for about 3 years. And during that time, we've really changed the way that we produce and think about content. We've really gone from an email and Excel spreadsheet kind of place to an XML kind of place. We are 85 people, about $30 million. We have 45,000 members. We're a member-based organization. And we have, there's about 500,000 people within the United States that have the word training in their title. So that gives you a sense of our audience. So ASTD is not only a member organization, but we're a small publisher. We have 60 years of content in the form of books and newsletters and magazines and workshop materials. And it's all highly reusable. We really do have a living library. There are concepts that are still relevant in the training world today that are over 50 years old. And so the potential for reuse and repackaging is quite high with our content. So goal. We needed to reduce our dependence on email marketing. You know, we're going to the same people over and over again with the same kind of like buy now message. We need to increase the content reuse to meet revenue objectives. If my books program needs to grow by 15% this year, I want to do that without having to make 15% more books. I'm simply too lazy. I want to reuse the stuff that we've done. We need to harness internal content knowledge, and that really has to do with getting new employees up and running and retaining institutional knowledge, so that instead of having to really depend on hiring within the training space, we can reach with outside of the training space, bring expertise in using or technology into ASTD and get them up and running really quickly on our content, because we can find it and we have a very usable library system for our own staff. Reducing production resources is super important, includes time to produce and headcount and time to market, and then making it easier to do business with ASTD. It shouldn't take us a week to draw up a custom content bundle for a customer that wants it. I want our sales teams to know exactly where the content is, how to be able to extract it, and bundle it very, very quickly. So just to give you an idea of our content, you'll see here just an example of one of our books. Is called the Ultimate Train the Trainer, and it's you can see that there's charts and graphs, and there's some icons there. So it's not free-flowing text. Here's another example. It's called another series